Fresh Take is a free-flowing conversation that occasionally touches on mature subject matter. You've been warned. Enjoy the show. What it is, what it do, with the Princess of Pod, Haley Jarmaine, and your host, Joshua Adam William Arbuthnot. Welcome to Unwritten. And, got a great subject to hit up on right now.
So weird, I don't like Stephanie.
You're the third person to stand so far.
Good for me.
It makes us feel a lot more pronounced.
Okay, that's fair.
Also, people complain that they can look at me in Devin shorts. So, that kind of led to this as well.
Okay. What if I wore shorts?
I don't think people will complain about that.
Huh.
That's a whole different part of Fresh Take coming soon.
So funny. It's not funny.
So, NFL this week. Big matchup for your Cardinals. The best team in football right now. Not very many Cardinal fans, but I can assure you...
No, there's a lot of Cardinal fans now.
There is, yeah, but I can assure you this is an OG Cardinal fan. And not many people hate the Seahawks as much as this one either.
Yeah. Gonna be a good matchup. If we're gonna lose a game, it'll be this game. But I'm hoping it doesn't happen because, let's get real, nobody likes the Seahawks.
And the Seahawks aren't a very good football team, in my opinion.
No,
I saw them in person against my Oakland Raiders, and we almost came back against them. And I don't think we're a bad team, but I think we're an experienced team and a young team. And we shouldn't have came into that house and dominated them in the end of the quarter the way that we did. And unpopular opinion alert, the 12th man isn't that loud. I've been there.
Yeah, the Seahawks are just overhyped. They won a Super Bowl, and everyone's on the Seahawks bandwagon, and they're the best team in football. But they're really not. They're just not. So.
And I think the crowd has started them down, and there's been a whole bunch of reports. Grantland wrote a great article about it, about how the beer started being watered down. And we called this at the beginning of the year, you included, that they kind of just reached the ultimate pinnacle. Seahawks won the Super Bowl, and their fans just stopped caring as much anymore. And I mean, to be honest, there's some stuff there that's legal that's going to make them a little more calmed down. And I think they're more focused on getting their NBA team back now, too.
Yeah, that, and I don't know, even today, Marshawn Lynch fined $100K for not talking to reporters after the game.
Being a brat.
Yeah, the Seahawks, in my opinion, are a bratty team.
And they have
Richard
no
Sherman,
receiver.
Brat.
Yeah.
I mean, Lynch, I like the guy, but
He won't be there next year.
Yeah. It's just...
And Russell Wilson, got a lot of criticism at the beginning of the year, me and Luke, for saying he's not a top 10 quarterback. And he's proven that he's not. And all respect that he doesn't have the offensive options as far as receivers
That's
go.
fair.
But Drew Statton, for example, let's just say John Brown is an exciting player, but he's not the greatest receiver that we've ever seen. And he's made John Brown look great. And Larry's a little thick in the tooth. Larry's looking very good. And the Cardinals just kind of have this system that just works. Bruce Arians has done a fantastic job.
It's the coaching and it's the system. I mean, you can have... Look at the Bears. We were talking about this last night. Bears, great team. A lot of great options there. I mean, not the greatest. They're missing pieces. But you got to look at their coaching staff and their systems, and it's not working for them, obviously. Whereas Cardinals, I mean, arguably, yeah, they're a good team, but not the best. I mean, compared to other teams out there. There's other teams that have way more weapons, way more than the Cardinals have, and it's the system and it's the coaching.
I totally agree. And I think sometimes just the better system works for teams. Let's run down the NFL matchups from this week really quick. It's going to be an interesting week. We start off in the NFL week with my lowly Oakland Raiders. They host the Kansas City Chiefs. This could be a trap game. Chiefs coming off a lot of high victories, and they're coming in a lower swing on a Thursday matchup in Oakland. Maybe this is the game that the Raiders can sneak out. Maybe, but the Chiefs are looking really good right now.
Yeah, Chiefs are looking good. I'd like to see the Raiders win just so that they're, have at least one. Yeah. But I think the Chiefs take this one.
Yeah, I think the Chiefs take this one too. I think if you're a Raider fan, much like myself, the win is you're circling the Rams dates, but after that Broncos win, who knows? Yeah. And you're circling the Bills and the Niners. Those are the ones you're kind of looking at, and maybe the Broncos at the end of the year, because maybe Peyton Sitton and your boy Brock Osweiler is the quarterback, and maybe that gives them a little bit more of an opportunity to get a win.
Yeah, we'll see.
Cleveland and Atlanta. Cleveland gets Josh Gordon back, finally. They cut Ben Tate. He's now a Minnesota Viking. Atlanta, not looking very good, but 4-6. 6 wins could win this division, so...
that is that makes me shudder.
Isaiah Crowell now is the man in Cleveland at the running back position. This is a must-win for both teams because both teams are chasing a playoff.
Yeah. I'm going to go with Browns.
I'm going to go with the Browns in that one as well. The New York Jets travel to Buffalo to take on the Bills. This is a big game for the Bills. Tough loss to Miami. The playoff hopes are getting really dim. Kyle Orton's still the quarterback of this team. The Jets, I don't really know what to make of them. Sometimes with the game against Vic, before they won their bye, like really, really good all of a sudden.
And
Vic looked like,
sometimes...
and I just don't know who they are. It's Heckle and Jide.
Yeah.
Who do you got in this one?
I don't know. I feel like I want to go with the Bills. I mean, this is totally off topic. Did you see their stadium covered in 5 feet of snow?
I did.
They're paying anyone $10 an hour to go shovel. Anyone. That's how much help they need. So I feel like the Bills kind of have the upper hand here because they're going to be at least practicing in that. Whereas, and Jets are used to snow, but I don't know if they're used to that. So just for that factor, I'm going to go with the Bills.
Next up, and I'm going to go with the Bills as well. Next up, Tampa Bay Buccaneers, who still can make the playoffs, believe it or not, take on those Chicago Bears, the slimmest of playoff hopes for the Chicago Bears. Brandon Marshall finally seemed to get something going last game.
I would like to see the Bears win because, to me, the Bears are just an iconic football team. Like, to me, more so than the Pats and the Cowboys.
Yeah.
Just in terms of what I grew up with. So I would like to see the Bears, make the playoffs, and they need that win. I think it'll happen for the Bears. I do, but
Tampa's going to be a tough out.
Yeah.
It seems like McCown and Evans are starting to get things clicking, but I'm going to agree with you in this. Chicago. So far, we like all the favorites.
Yeah.
Next up, Cincinnati and Houston. Big game for both teams. Houston, dimmest of playoff hopes, but they are favored in this game. Cincinnati has been really wonky all season.
Yeah.
And that division, the AFC North, has kind of been all over the place. A win,
to say the least.
every win now is important for them with Baltimore and the Browns and the Steelers. Everyone's in that one. But I like Houston in this.
I do.
I like Ryan Mallett.
Logic has me going the other way, but I'm going to go with Houston.
Yeah, I like Ryan Mallett. And J.J. Watt has more touchdowns than Megatron. Shady McCoy. It's kind of crazy.
J.J. Watt.
Jacksonville travels to Indianapolis. This could be another trap game, I think. Denard Robinson has been looking really, really good. But the Colts kind of seem to snap back from those tough losses pretty easily. And Andrew Luck is never out of a game.
Yeah. Colts.
Next up, we got Green Bay, Minnesota. Green Bay's favored to win the Super Bowl now, 4-1. Only team that has a little lesser odds. I think them and the Cardinals are both the same. I like the Cardinals more than the Packers, not just because you're here. I just do. But I like the Packers in this game, obviously.
Yeah. Yeah. I can go with that. I never remember the Packers being like, wow, they're so good. But, I mean...
Rodgers gets hot, it's hard to stop him.
Yeah.
Next up, the Detroit Lions taking on the New England Patriots. Big game. Tom Brady has been on a roll. You would think at some point they're going to just take that one step back in one game. And the Lions...
I think this is the game to do it.
Yeah, and the Lions need a big game. Yeah.
Yeah, I think Lions over the Pats.
I like the Lions in this one. It breaks my heart to say it because the Pats have been such an underrated role. I don't think it's a bad game from Brady like we saw in the Cincinnati
No, I think it'll be a good game, but it's just...
Megatron is on Revis Island, though, so we'll see.
Very true.
Tennessee at Philadelphia. Tennessee, I don't really know what to make of this team. They stay in there with the Steelers. And Philly, I don't really ever want to trust Mark Sanchez with anything.
Yeah. I'm going to go with the Eagles, just because...
Yeah, I'm going to go with the Eagles, too. Next up, St. Louis against the San Diego Chargers. I don't know what happened with the Chargers. They started off the season so hot with that great win against the Seahawks, and they looked like to be at one point the best team in football.
Yeah,
and then
easily.
That game they had against the Raiders that they did win kind of seemed to turn things around. There's been a few injuries here and there. They have a tough schedule: Broncos, Pats, Niners. It's not an easy road for them.
Yeah,
so this is the game they have to win, especially with the Chiefs rising up right now.
Yeah, I would like to say Chargers, but I just don't know.
Yeah,
I genuinely don't know.
The Rams are a sneaky team.
Yeah, the Rams are sneaky, and the Chargers are not great at times.
I'm going to give the Chargers the benefit of the doubt because this is the must-win game for them, and maybe they snap out of it. Arizona, Seattle. Believe it or not, Seattle is favored by 6.5 this game. That's a really big line.
I believe it, though. I mean...
They have to win this game. This is the biggest game of the year for Seattle because guess who they face next week on Thanksgiving? The San Francisco 49ers.
Oh, okay.
And if the Cardinals win this, they've won the division. It's that simple.
Yeah, so I mean, the Cardinals have a lot riding on the game.
Mm-hmm.
And they're on a roll. They're on a roll. Maybe they don't end that roll. I'm not going to go there. My mind's not going to go there.
So are you going to just kind of stay... You're going to obviously say the Cardinals.
Yeah.
I'm going to go for the Cardinals myself.
I think it'll be a tie, though, in terms of...
Pro line,
Pro line, it'll be a tie.
I don't buy the Seattle team at all. I just don't buy them. And against this Cardinals defense that shut down many good offenses, they're in for... LOB is in for some trouble. And another tremendous game also in the 2 p.m. slot, Miami and Denver. And this is a big game. Miami's look kind of good. They're kind of starting to rise up the ranks. They're sneaking in for a playoff division position, and the Broncos kind of falling off a little bit. Julian Thomas might be out. Ronnie Hillman's out. We don't know what's going on with Lonnie Ball. Everyone thought C.J. Anderson would do something, and he really didn't do anything last week. Wes Welker seems to be done.
Yeah. If this is any game for the Broncos to come back, it's this game. But the Miami's
this is the biggest game of Ryan Tannehill's career.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Easily. So I'm going to go with Broncos.
Yeah, I'm going to go with the Broncos because I can't keep Pete Manning out of any game.
Yeah.
Next up, this is the must-win for the Niners. They face the Redskins, and doesn't really matter who your quarterback is. RG3, Cousins, Colt McCoy, I guess kind of helps in some circumstances, but the Redskins just don't look like a very good football team. And
no, they're surrounded by controversy, let alone, the with the name change, then I don't think they have a big fan base, and they just kind of suck.
And then we got the Dallas Cowboys taking on the New York Giants. Big game for the Cowboys because with how stacked that NFC West is. All three teams can still make the playoffs between Seattle, San Francisco, and Arizona. And it's going to kind of be down between Dallas and Philly for that NFC North division title. Cowboys started really, really hot.
Yeah, Cowboys have looked good, but I think the Giants, I mean, you can't.
Eli has these weird things where Eli throws 4 interceptions, and then he faces the Cowboys, and then he looks phenomenal.
And then he looks like his brother, and
just to throw it up to Odell Beckham.
Yeah, I was going to say, Odell Beckham is a huge part of that, I think.
Yeah.
But, I mean, if Eli can get himself together and not throw so many interceptions, definitely not writing off the Giants.
Yep, I think the Giants have a great chance in this game, and I think the Cowboys will slip. I'm going to pick the Giants in this one.
Yeah, I agree.
And then the final game is the Baltimore Ravens and the New Orleans Saints.
Yeah, Saints, not much to say about that.
I think this is a big game for the Saints. Drew Brees hasn't looked very good. They don't really lose at home very often.
Yeah.
And I think people are overrating Baltimore just a wee bit. I like Baltimore, but just a wee bit. So I'm going to pick the Saints in that one. So, should be a good week in the NFL. Hopefully my Raiders win, and more importantly, hopefully the Cardinals beat those Seahawks.
Yeah, I hope that's the thing because, well, for starters, I'd like to rub it in Richard's face.
Yeah.
Second of all, I would just like the Cardinals to win.
Absolutely.
So there's that.
All right, so until next time, cheers, and enjoy the day, people.